Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Antonio Conte is open to the idea of replacing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United, but Conte has reservations about the club's structure. It said not so long ago that Conte wanted a meeting with the Manchester United board, but Conte is interested in the Manchester United job. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. Conte is the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Earlier on this season, he said Conte would accept the Manchester United job if Solskjaer gets sacked, but he made it clear that he wants a winning project. So reflecting on that, he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte is a far superior manager to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Conte has got a pedigree behind him. He won a lot of silverware in his home nation. When he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. So he's managed in the Premier League before. That's beneficial. But there's a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding Conte in. Obviously, Zinedine Zidane has been linked with the Man United job. He recently said Manchester United are interested in Zinedine Zidane, but the ex-Real Madrid boss is enjoying life away from football management. The other week, reports from Spain said that Manchester United contacted Zidane because of the recommendation of Cristiano Ronaldo. But in regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still be Manchester United manager by the end of the week? Fabrizio Romano has given us an update. He said Manchester United will consider Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future in the next few hours or days. I think the 5-0 hammering to Liverpool would have been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's last game in charge of Manchester United. But despite the 5-0 defeat, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has refused to resign. I just feel as though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in a position he shouldn't be in. And the expectations are far too high for him to exceed at Manchester United. Solskjaer is not going to win trophies as Manchester United manager. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree. That's definitely a concern. Plus, his decision making is a massive concern as well, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Manchester United, he's been tactically naive. Solskjaer's had long enough now. He's been in charge of the club for almost 3 years. He will certainly be sacked by Christmas, and I can assure he's not getting until the end of this season. We love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer no matter what, because at the end of the day he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance, and Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final back in 1999. He won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. In Solskjaer's first 3 months, he was the interim manager. Did very well as the interim manager. He won 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. So reflecting on that, the club decided to give him the job permanently back in March 2019. But obviously since he's got the job permanently, it's all gone wrong. There again though, we have enjoyed some good periods under Ole where we've actually seen consistency, and revert back to what I've said to you on my recent videos. There is positives regarding Ole, there's not all negatives regarding him. You know, Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. He's signed 14 players at the moment, and we've spent like 441 million under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So in the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odin Igalo in on loan. Then in the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van de Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. He got 4 of those players on deadline day in the summer of 2020. And in this year's summer transfer window, Ole brought Tom Heaton in, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. You know, he's loaned players out, he's got rid of a lot of players permanently. The players Solskjaer loaned out in the summer transfer window this year, loaned Ethan Laird out, Andres Pereira, Brandon Williams, Axel Tuanzebe, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. The players he's got rid of permanently obviously sold Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. He was the only player we sold in the summer transfer window. That was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Ole also offloaded Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. He released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. In January, he offloaded Igalo, Fosu-Mensah and Rojo. And other players he's let go. He let Ashley Young go, he let Valencia go, he let Smalling go, he let Darmian go. He let Fellaini go back in January 2019, he let Gomez go, Herrera, he let Lukaku go, and he let Sanchez go. And you can say that some progress has been made under Ole. You know, Ole's got us to semi-finals. He got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup last season. Last season he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. But unfortunately, we didn't win it. Last season, Solskjaer got us a second-place finish, and in his first full season, he got us a third-place finish. I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth as well. But Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United, it was going to be a massive job. And he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. Ole is managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. Solskjaer has no more excuses. He ran out of excuses a while ago, I'd say. You know, Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year. We spent around 141 million. We made 4 signings, brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. And Solskjaer got very strong backing from the board as well in the summer transfer window. Like I've mentioned before, Mertev backed him, Fletcher backed him, Woodward's backed Solskjaer and the Glazers backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Revert back to what I said on my recent video, the Glazers have now got to have the balls to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously it's going to cost the club money to get rid of him. But the board have said time and time again that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe and he will not be sacked by Manchester United. He said that after the 4-2 defeat to Leicester the other week. But that 5-0 defeat to Liverpool was far worse than the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. It's not acceptable losing to one of your biggest rivals 5-0 and at Old Trafford. So that just says it all, doesn't it? Plus, Manchester United have got a very good squad. But like people have been saying, pundits and stuff, it's a team of individuals. We're not playing as a team. That's the problem. You've got the likes of Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea that all play as a team like Neville was talking about earlier on this season. Our squad is worth around 805 million. That's how much money Manchester United have spent since Ferguson retired. So obviously, you've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo obviously played in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool yesterday. Was lucky not to be sent off for kicking Curtis Jones. Ronaldo also had a goal disallowed, which should have stood, but it didn't stand. But it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. By the way, after the game, Ronaldo sent a message to the Manchester United dressing room. He's told his Manchester United teammates that they are the ones to blame for the humiliation against Liverpool. Ronaldo obviously played against Atalanta, scored the winning goal in that one. He saved us in that game. He also saved us in the game against Villarreal. Ronaldo played in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. For the vast majority of that game, he was anonymous. Wasn't he? Don't forget, Ronaldo tried to storm off the pitch against Leicester, but Solskjaer stopped him. Prior to the Leicester game, Ronaldo informed Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game after he was left on the bench in the game against Everton before the international break. Don't forget, Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. But he has done well since he's re-signed, because he scored 6 goals in all competitions so far. And earlier on this season, Ronaldo said he wants to retire at Manchester United. Then coached Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Villa game earlier on this season, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. At the moment, Ronaldo's 36. Earlier on this season, Ronaldo hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's got a contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives 480 grand a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. You've got Jadon Sancho. That's a good player, but he's enjoyed a poor start to his Manchester United career. And reflecting on that, fans are getting on Sancho's back, but I think Ole's to blame for Sancho's poor performances, because Solskjaer, when he plays him, he persistently puts him on the left wing. Yes, he can play on the left wing, but he's far superior on the right wing than the left wing, because Sancho is predominantly a right winger. Sancho can also play centrally. It does take some players time to settle in, but I've said to you before, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly, he will do well. Sancho played no part against Liverpool yesterday. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Jadon Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got him for 78 million with add-ons included, and Sancho's got a contract with Man United until June 2026 as an option of a further year. And you've got Mason Greenwood, that's a good player. Greenwood played yesterday. I thought he was our best player, to be honest with you. He looked threatening on the ball. He had a good chance that produced a good save from Allinson. Greenwood played against Atalanta. Weren't too good in that one, couldn't really create any opportunities. Greenwood scored a stunning goal in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester though the other week. Greenwood has scored 4 goals in the Premier League so far this season. Greenwood's been a revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. You've got Marcus Rashford, that's also good. Rashford though was very, very poor in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool yesterday. You know, Rashford played that horrendous back pass that led to that Salah chance. You know, we was lucky Salah didn't score that. Rashford did have a chance in the game from long range but just went wide. And his positioning was poor as well. But in the last 2 games prior to the Liverpool one, Rashford did well because he scored against Atalanta in the Champions League last week. He scored on his comeback in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. Prior to the Liverpool game, Rashford, I think, had a minor injury. Don't forget though, Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while. And don't forget, Rashford had to have an operation on his shoulder at one point. We need to keep Rashford on the left wing because that's where he's mostly effective. He's far superior on the left wing to the right wing and up top. Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. Then you've got Edinson Cavani. That's also a good player. Didn't start yesterday but came on. I think he had a good chance. Should have scored. Cavani will be leaving next year, but I can't say I want him to leave because he's made an impact since he's come in as Cavani. He said earlier on this season that Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January and Barcelona may reignite their interest because Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Cavani's got under a year left on his Man United contract. Back in May, Cavani signed a 1-year contract extension. He receives over £200,000 a week. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. You know, look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. And he was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG. You know, you've got Fernandes, that's also very, very good. Fernandes played against Liverpool yesterday. Didn't really do much. He had an early chance, but he skied it. He should have done much better with that. Fernandes was a doubt prior to the Liverpool game because he said he was limping in training. Fernandes got 2 assists against Atalanta. He also got the assist for Mason Greenwood's stunning goal against Leicester. So Greenwood's good at creating chances and he's good at scoring goals, is Fernandes. There has been quite a few games though where Fernandes has looked off the pace, but in a lot of games for Man United he's been consistent. Revert back to what I've said before, he's one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years now. Last season he won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Earlier on this season it did mention that Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. But earlier on this season, Fernandes made it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. And you've got Donny van de Beek, that's also a good player. but he doesn't get in the team. So reflecting on that, he'll be sold next year. Obviously, you've got Paul Pogba. That's a good player. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. Pogba got sent off when he came on against Liverpool yesterday for that two-footed challenge on Naby Keita. I think Pogba will be suspended for the next 2 or 3 games. I criticise Solskjaer for not starting Pogba against Liverpool. He should have started him. Pogba didn't start against Atalanta, but he came on and made an impact. Pogba played in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. And after that game, Pogba said that something needs to change at Manchester United. So reflecting on that, I'd say he was demanding Solskjaer out. And you've got Luke Shaw, that's a good left back, but being out of form this season. Where was the Luke Shaw from last season? Luke Shaw was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. Shaw was accountable for 2 or 3 of Liverpool's goals yesterday. That's how poor he was. Alex Telles, he's a good player but doesn't really get in the team. So reflecting on that, I think we're going to offload him next year. You've got Maguire, that's good when he wants to be, but he's been abysmal so far this season. I'd say Maguire was accountable for 2 of Liverpool's goals yesterday. Don't forget there was one part where Maguire and Luke Shaw got in a tussle and that led to Liverpool's second goal. Maguire or Shaw should have cleared that ball, so that second goal from Liverpool shouldn't have happened. Maguire, though, has just come back from a calf injury not so long ago. Maguire scored against Atalanta last week. And he played in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, and he shouldn't have played against Leicester. And I criticised Solskjaer for that. Solskjaer rushed Harry Maguire back too soon. You've got Varane, that's a good centre-half, but he's not available at the moment because he's out with a groin injury. He's out for a few weeks. You've got Bay, that's a decent centre-half, but doesn't get in the team because obviously of the arrival of Varane in the summer transfer window. Plus, Solskjaer seems to prefer Lindelof ahead of Bailly. And Wan-Bissaka, he's a good right back as well. There's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. He's got to improve the attacking side of his game. Defensively, he's always been superb. And De Gea, is a very, very good goalkeeper. He's done really well so far this season. If it weren't for De Gea, it'd have been far worse. One for De Gea in that game yesterday against Liverpool, it would have been 8-9-0 to Liverpool. De Gea must have made 3 good saves. He made 1 save to deny Alexander-Arnold. He made a good save to deny Salah from a tight angle. And he made a good save to deny Firmino. And you got Dean Henderson, that's a good goalkeeper as well. But I think he'll go out on loan next year because he ain't getting his chances, is he? He's only been in goal for 1 game this season. That was West Ham in the Cup. But don't forget Dean Henderson was out with COVID for a while. Dean Henderson won't get his chances now anyway because De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. So there you go, that is a good team. If that team starts playing as a team, then we can get somewhere. Until then, we're going nowhere. You've got poor players as well at Man United. Jones is poor. Jones doesn't get in the team anyway. He's going to leave next year. Don't forget Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. Also, Lindelof, we need to sell him next year. He's not good enough to represent the club. I also don't think Matic is good enough. Fred's not good enough. McTominay's not good enough. Solskjaer has been criticised for persistently playing Fred and McTominay in the centre midfield. Lingard is not good enough either, but he doesn't really get in the team. Obviously, Anthony Martial isn't good enough. We'll sell him next year. So there you go. But like I've said in regards to Solskjaer, it's time for him to go now. And I hope him all the best in the future, don't get me wrong. Like I've said, I'll always adore him no matter what. Solskjaer just cannot take this team forward. It's as simple as that. So anyway, guys, what do you think to the news regarding Conte? Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If all else updates, I will be back on. Take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.